Welcome to Adventures of TJ. I'm your host, Justin. So this is going to be my first podcast ever. I have been dabbling with YouTube for a while now. I have posted quite a few videos, like 10, 15 videos, like short and full-blown YouTube videos. But, I'm looking on the YouTube content creator page and it says there's an option for podcast. So I'm going to try doing a podcast too, mainly because I want to build my channel, build my subscribers, and I want it to be my full-blown career. So that being said, welcome, enjoy, and let's dive right into it. So, like I said, I'm your host, Justin, and Josh will be, joining sometimes here and there. And I'm gonna be looking for people to add to channel to come and visit. We are, like I said, this is just the beginning. This is my office here. So probably have people come here. I don't know yet. We're gonna figure that out as we go. So yeah. So this podcast is going to be, it's just going, it's going to be about talking about the adventures that we've gone on and talking about the future adventures and just talking about life in general, what's going on, in the world, what's going on the news, just, whatever. So first things first, I'm going to go to YouTube here. And I'm going to ask you guys to please subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out, and it gets the algorithm going so people can see what's going on, and we want to build our channel. So, last week, we were on the cruise. It was wonderful. It was just like all you can eat, all you can drink. I will say though, the food was not that good. I'm disappointed with that. The food was not that good. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't like, oh my god, But it was all you can eat. And of course, all you can drink. So nice. So that was really, really nice. I loved all you could drink. So, yeah, so we went to St. Thomas, and we went to the Bahamas, we went to the Royal Caribbean's private island. It was just a great time. And then, as it goes, all good things, unfortunately, come to an end. So, we got back to Orlando, Florida. We spent, the day there. And then, the next morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, we got up. Well, no, sorry. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the morning, we got up and we went to the airport. So we got to the airport about 3. And then we boarded the plane at 4. So I'm like, oh my god. So it was a long day. Well, it wasn't even really a full day. It was like a long morning because I think we got back to the airport let's see. We got to Charlotte. We had a layover in Charlotte at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then we went from Charlotte to DFW, so downtown Fort Worth, Dallas area. So then we landed there around 10 o'clock, 10:30ish. So there was that. Well, then from that, and this is crazy. So this would have been Monday. So we got off the boat Sunday, okay? Sunday morning. Then Friday, Monday morning, we landed, and then we got into the Escalade, and then we went to the car dealer where Josh got his Escalade and dealt with that for a couple hours. So a little backstory with that is we bought his truck 6-7 months ago. I pay attention to all the useless details, okay, to every little thing. And, I asked, is the warranty covered this, and this, and this? Like, for example, the suspension. We've been having issues with the suspension. I'm drawing a blank here. Upper, lower control arms, and, oh my God. Excuse me for a second. The shocks and the springs. Can't think what the word is. I'm drawing blank. But I asked, when we bought the truck, I'm like, is this under warranty? It was a yes or no question. And the salesperson said yes. They said that the shocks are covered, the air compressor's covered, all this stuff is covered. They said yes. Like, why yes? So, we noticed, I noticed actually that day, because the reason why I asked is that day that we test drove, I noticed that, it had issues and it was lowered. So, and that's when I asked, and they said yes. So, we noticed a couple months later that it was indeed, the suspension is blown and it needs suspension work. So, we've been fighting with the dealer for almost 7 freaking months. Try to get it worked on and try to get it fixed. Because we got a warranty. The warranty covers everything. That's what we asked. It was a bumper-to-bumper warranty. So, yeah. So, we went to the dealer because I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of calling, because every time I call them, they either hang up on me, because, yes, they do hang up on me. They beep, hang up on me. I've called and called and called. They ignore my phone calls. They transfer me to other people, blah, 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 blah. Well, I told Josh, I said, you know what? Let's do a surprise visit, because they can't hang up the phone when I'm there in person. So, yes, we surprised them. And, oh, boy, we talked to one of the owners, and he said, well, give me a few minutes. I'll get things ready. We'll go to the office and talk. Well, I'll tell you what. So, we never heard back from him. We sat there for 2 freaking hours. 2 hours that we waited. I mean, we talked to the service tech who said, yeah, the suspension's blown, blah, blah, blah. I can only do what I can do. You got to talk to the owners of the dealer. So, one of them wasn't even the owner. One of the managers for inventory manager. I've never heard of an inventory manager. Maybe some of y'all have. I have not. Me and Josh have never heard of an inventory manager. He has tried talking, and he's trying to, steer the blame away from them. I'm like, nuh-uh. I'm like, we're not doing it. I'm like, this is what happened. This is the truth. Y'all lied about this repeatedly multiple freaking times. Y'all fucking lied. So, they're like, okay, well, can we get you into another vehicle? Well, there wasn't nothing that Josh really wanted. And we're like, we don't want another fucking vehicle from you guys anyways. So, And so, yeah. So, not even 24 hours fucking later, we went from talking on the cruise and, onboarding to dealing with the dealer. So, if everything gets taken care of, but it needs to get done, then I will not broadcast their name. I will not say who they are and which town and city they are in. If they don't, believe me, I'm blasting y'all's asses all over. And warning all y'all not to deal with them, because this is just not to deal with them. I mean, that's the bottom line. We ain't going to deal with this shit. Okay? So, there's that. We do have a trip planned for Indiana next month. We're going to be in Indiana and Wisconsin. I'm going to visit some family in Wisconsin for the day. So we're going to be flying to Chicago O'Hare, then driving to Wisconsin, and then driving from Wisconsin to Indiana. We'll be in Indiana for a day and a half, and driving back to Chicago, and then flying back to Texas. And then in February, we're going to the Dallas Car Show I'm really excited for that one. And yeah, I mean, we got a lot of stuff planned this year. It's going to be a very busy year, and we are excited. I mean, it's got to go somewhere, right? And we're already going to be planning our next cruise. We're going to be planning our next vacation. Like I said, we're going to be really, really busy this year. And Josh is, dabbling into a new career. We'll be sharing that. He'll probably come on the podcast later and share that, because I'm not going to share that for him. I'm going to let him share that for y'all. And I'm looking at, new things and working on new things. And obviously this podcast is a new podcast, so we're going to be doing that during the week. And I mean, that's just what it's going to be. We are very, very excited for what's coming this year. So we appreciate all the subscribers, just the whole thing. We are just so happy, and we want to continue building this channel and building it and building and building it, and we'll go from there. I mean, we're not monetized yet, unfortunately. We don't have any paid promotionals yet. We don't have any advertisements, and we're looking for that. We want to do this. We want to build this into a career, and it's just what we want to do. So, I posted on my channel, and I gave a little bit of background about me. So, I'm not going to share it with you. So, a little bit of background on me is, yes, I got fucked up by squirrel. And so, I am a truck driver. I was an owner-operator for a very long time, driving semis, doing the phone calls, the loads, booking loads, etc., etc. Well, I stepped away from driving the trucks, to now doing the dispatching now. Hence why I'm in the office. And driving the trucks just wasn't doing it anymore. As I'm sure a lot of people know, the trucking industry is kind of gone downhill. So obviously we're looking at different events, different career changes, different, sources of income. That means I gotta be a cha-ching model. I'm gonna do it. That means Josh has gotta be an actor. We're gonna do it. We gotta do other things. And this is not just us, in general. If you're not making the income or you're not happy, you gotta change. You have to change and do something different. You can't just sit around with your thumb up your ass and bitch and cry and complain that nothing's changing if you don't fucking plan to change. And unfortunately, there's too many poor me, who don't want to change, who want to just take what it is and so there is that. Excuse me for a second. Josh texted me, actually. It's in the mirror on your side. Sorry. So, there's just too many people playing the poor me game and want to cry and bitch and cry and complain and don't want to change their situation. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm always down to be making money. I'm doing everything I can to make money. That's just what I do. I love money. And yeah, so that's where it's at. So, like I said, there's a lot of things coming this year. There's a lot of plans. There's a lot of things that we are doing. And we are very, very excited to show it with you guys and share it. Like I said, we got this YouTube channel. Obviously, we started this YouTube channel last year, a couple months ago, but we are starting full swing. 2 to 3 videos a week, a podcast every single week. And I'm sure for a while, it's just going to be me talking about things until we get a bigger audience and we get to share it with y'all. I'm going to look into Apple, with their Apple podcast. I don't know how that works, but I'm going to look into doing a podcast through Apple. And we're just going to be, cranking this stuff out. just crank them out. And I'm going to try to go do some casting calls and, maybe be an extra on a movie or a TV show. I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works. But I'm always looking to better myself, and so is Josh. We're always looking to do bigger and better. And that's what you got to do. I mean, you got to do it. If you want to be, for me, my opinion, if you want to be successful, you got to go out there and get it. It's not just going to be handed to you. And, there's this thing, you got to know someone to be someone, or vice versa. We don't know that person yet. So we want to be going out there, getting the attention, sharing the attention, getting what we need to do to be that someone. And maybe somewhere, somehow, we'll get the attention. And that's where you guys come in. We need you guys to please like our channel, like our videos, subscribe to our channels, and go down below and turn the notifications on. Because that's the only way we're going to be able to do this. It's the only way we'll be able to get, all the content creators involved. That's the only way we're going to get, promotionals and advertisements. Is because we need y'all to help with that. We're not asking for money. We're not asking for donations. It's just easy. Just like, share, comment down below. And, my goal is I want to, obviously we started from nowhere and we're going somewhere. And I want to look back and see where we started. And the people who are subscribed, to y'all who have subscribed, y'all are the OG. We are appreciated. We appreciate y'all. And it really melts our heart that y'all have subscribed and that y'all are along with our journey. And you're involved with it. Y'all are part of the family. Y'all are part of the virtual adventures with us. And hopefully someday, eventually, soon, we will, go to meet and greets and all that. But unfortunately, that's not anywhere here and there. We're a nobody on YouTube. There's millions and billions of people on YouTube. We are a nobody. We are no one. But maybe someday we will get to that point. With that being said, it takes time. I don't like patience. I don't have patience. I'm not a doctor. My name isn't Dr. Justin, so I ain't got patience. But I'm going to certainly try to do that. Certainly try. My biggest inspiration is the Chrisleys. I love Todd and Julie. And I'm like, you know what? Todd didn't have any money. Nana Faye worked in a factory. So they weren't born bougie and rich. And I don't know Todd's story. I don't know Julie's story. But from what I've watched on, Chrisley Knows Best and listened and watched their podcast, they started from nowhere and they built something. They built what they have. And now they're rolling around in Range Rovers and living in these beautiful houses. I'm not jealous. Maybe just a little. Just a little. But they started somewhere. And to me, that's an inspiration. And it shows that you got to work for it. If you want it, you got to work for it. And, obviously I give all my glory to God. I'm not the most religious person at all. But, I do believe in Him. I do believe things happen for a reason. And I also, give praise and, look up to the Chrisleys for inspiration. And so, yeah, it's just, you got to start somewhere, and that's where we're going. And I'm just going to continue. And, yeah, I'm sure these podcasts are going to suck. I'm sure these videos suck right now. And I'm trying. And I'm hoping that eventually, we can start getting big and I can start hiring an editor and making these more professional and, Hollywood type. But yeah, so with that being said, stop in for next week for the podcast. And I hope you guys enjoyed this makeshift all over the board podcast. And we'll catch you on the next video, y'all.